What's that? Clothing. This. There we go. Full. Okay, finally got this sorted. Weather's not good at all. Here we go. This has moved across close to this stuff here. So weather at Forli, not great. Our meter at Samaden, it is 170 at 1 knots, so runway 21 in principle. We're going to take runway 3 with that wind, it's not a problem. And then we have scattered clouds, then follow the magenta line. So pivot heat comes on, we're going to put in the propeller anti-ice, the engine anti-ice. Also cowl flaps open. I think we're ready to go. Very little visibility. Be fair to say that the airport would be closed here, I think. Okay, there it goes. Brakes applied. If anything goes wrong, we're dead. Which might be the point of this whole exercise, to be honest. Okay, takeoff power set and achieved. Speed is alive. 40. Here's 60. Here's 70. 74, 75. Rotate.
Transporter from dispatch. If you have fragile or perishable goods, watch your flight.
We're stalling out. Okay. Lower the nose. There's 70. 74. Flaps up. Lower the nose. Okay, we're not going to play around here. We're going to do autopilot. Get on that heading. And nothing was set up. I said FLC. Thanks. And climb ahead. No, not below VX, thanks. Crazy bastard. See on the radar, it's not looking too pretty. Okay, here comes that slight turn to the right. 040, I think. Okay, after takeoff checklist, gear is up. Gear is not up. What the hell? Flaps are up. Okay. Start to lean the mixture. It's quite a bit of concentration because visibility is non-existent, so it's all instrument. And we'll switch to nav mode as soon as we cross the magenta line here. We know roughly that we need to go up here because I know the departure pretty. But despite the heavy load, we have decent climb power, roughly 750 feet per minute. I will be leaning the mixture here throughout to be sure we have max power. Makes a big difference. And then the other thing we need to be worried about is the wind, which is coming from the north, that is blowing us into the mountains on the right. So we're now selecting nav mode, which is armed. More than that, it's actually activated. Alright, so we should be happily flying GPS mode. Just to make sure anti-ice is all set on, because last thing I want to do is stall out here in the middle of the clouds. Coming up at 10,000, so we can switch our standard pressure to 1013. Stroke is very helpful for the eyes. Yeah, and that's our departure for now, so we're going to continue climbing here. And again, adjusting the mixture, you can see how this thing immediately jumped from 200 feet to 750 again. It's going to be it's very important to stay on top of the leaning. Seems also very erratic at times here. But what we can do is switch to the other fuel tank. We can see the fuel imbalance starting to grow here. Everything else seems to be looking okay. Alright, so until it gets interesting, maybe we'll see the sunrise. That would be nice. Either way, I'm gonna hop on the radio now for a bit and catch up with you later.
Service is terminated. Good day.
Okay, and we're back for a moment here. We reached our cruise altitude, 14,000. We're still in the shed. There's plenty clouds, and we're still in the middle of them, so there's little hope of climbing above it. And we have picked up quite a lot of ice already here, so all anti-ice measures we do have are employed. However, what we do not have is any anti-ice on the wings, so we're actually going to have to make it out of here in order to get rid of that ice. We can't descend yet at this point because it's still quite mountainous here. So we're waiting until we reach the Italian Po flats until we can maybe either get out of the clouds or descend. I've been trying to lean the mixture, but we're crawling along here at 109 indicated. Some of that has to do with us having a bit of a tailwind, but if there's ice buildup on the wings, then this speed will start to drop a little bit, and we might be in trouble then. What I usually do is I keep the nearest airport's window here in my sight. At the moment we are closest here to either Trento or Bolzano, and a bit later we might be closer to Verona in case we have to make a unplanned landing. On the engine side everything is okay. We're okay, and it looks like we are screwed here. We're losing airspeed, so just disabled the autopilot in order to descend and keep the speed up. It's very windy. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is stay on this heading and descend to 12,000. Okay. Bad weather, middle of the night. It's completely frozen over. I think we're having some wing ice, and that obviously does not help. Temperature right now is -3 degrees. We need to descend so that we are at +5 or higher. Alright, let's see how that goes. Check in with you later. Okay, and we are back again in the cockpit. We've managed to avoid misery here, and we've descended down to 10,000 feet, or rather flight level 100, and we're out of the valleys and onto the flats. Temperature has risen a little bit and performance is good, so just really shows the limitations of the Bonanza, and it's even summertime, right? So a little bit of bad weather and the icing conditions are there very quickly. So for our approach into Forli, we need to select put this up here. So Forli is down here, and we're coming from specifically Lumav, and then here to Romeo is bringing us straight in, which will take, so let's do that. That is the one that's selected, which is nice. Enter. This is the sequence. Luma, blah 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 blah. It's good. It's good, it's good, it's good. Let's check the chart. Yeah, that's the one with the kink in it. Good, and then we just reached Albert. select the approach here as well, and that's going to be ILS 12. And we'll set this up. Coming in at flight level 100, that's where we are already, and then at DME 17 from the Forli VOR, we are turning right and fly the 121 radial, or descend to 3000 here, and then intercept the ILS, which is here. That all looks very easy. So 13 miles from the airport, we have the glide slope here at 115. It's good in case back into sequence, so easy as well. That's a 3.3 degree glide slope, so more or less standard, starting at 3000 to intercept. And our decision altitude for the ILS category A is 350. And that we can set up to see most of the runway here. Runway length is oh, hello. Nice. Have a look at that. We're out of the clouds finally. How do the wings look? They are clean. We got rid of most of our ice on the windshield. And it's a sunrise, that's pretty rare. I usually fly during sunsets, and it's time for a switch of the tank. It's good. Good. So we are inbound to our initial approach fix, Luav, and then we still have some time. Okay, so we'll be back shortly when we're a bit closer to the actual descent. Hey, and we're back. Wouldn't you say that's pretty? It's like bloody painted is what it is. Wonderful. Go to this side. Sun's gonna come up here shortly. It's pretty. Free of ice. Quite some stiff winds here. 19 knots from the east, so the wind has changed to some degree. We are kind of crabbing here. We're tracking 185 on a course of 171, so that's 14 degrees that we're crabbing. You can see it also from us being slightly tilted here. Either being slightly tilted here. Either way, we are coming up on Lumav, as it turns out. So Lumav, we are actually now on the arrival. Once we pass this fix, and then cloud cover. While we are flying through this stuff here, which we could have avoided if we were smart. There you go. That's the view we want to see. Officially on the arrival into Forli.
Eccoci, buonasera. Il governo 2 ore fa ha varato l'ormai famoso decreto sull'estensione del Green Pass a tutti i lavoratori pubblici e privati, una platea di 23 milioni di lavoratori. Tutti dovranno avere il certificato verde con alcune novità. Ci sarà ad esempio la validità del Green Pass subito dopo la prima dose, questo è un ulteriore incentivo a vaccinarsi perché tutto inizia il 15 di ottobre. Non saranno esentati neanche, c'è una forte spinta a riguardo, nonostante non soggiacciono alle leggi ordinarie anche nei confronti di Camera, Senato, Corte Costituzionale. Tutti dovranno essere, dico di esempio, ma come tutti gli altri lavoratori. I tamponi non saranno gratis se non per chi non può essere vaccinato per ragioni ovviamente mediche, per tutti gli altri saranno prezzi calmierati, così si dice.
Che bello il sole!
Il tampone non varrà più, in caso di negatività ovviamente, 48 ore ma 72, l'estensione quindi a 3 giorni. Ci sono molti altri aspetti, tra l'altro la conferenza stampa dei ministri, ma non con Draghi, dei ministri, l'alternativa all'obbligo vaccinale. C'è un incentivo forte da un lato il più possibile siano appunto vaccinati, ma si costruisce anche, ma non ci sarà soltanto questo, anche se ne parleremo abbondantemente, data l'importanza del decreto che appunto riguarda di fatto metà degli italiani. Ci sarà da parlare delle bollette, si sta facendo in modo che non ci sia quell'innalzamento enorme dei prezzi della luce e del gas. Vedremo come. Di Berlusconi, che ha detto ma non bisognate nemmeno di farmi una perizia sanitaria sotto testo passare per matto, andate avanti pure nel processo Ruby per Sane, e anche l'avvio di SpaceX, quello che è il primo viaggio nello spazio fatto come se fosse in qualche modo una gita turistica senza astronauti.
Big day for SpaceX.
30 secondi i titoli.
Having put 4 people in space, 4 civilians. Makes the Italian news, that's good.
Il consiglio dei MIF babysitter, in tutto sono interessati dal
Here's
provvedimento
also the
23
airport
milioni di lavoratori.
coming in from
Saranno i
here
datori di lavoro a effettuare la verifica del certificato verde. Chi non lo
almost 3
possiede subirà la
kilometers
sospensione
of
dal lavoro
runway.
e dallo stipendio o modalità diverse per i lavoratori
And we
pubblici
got
o
a
privati,
series
ma
of
non
aprons here.
potrà essere licenziato.
Let's see if
Sono
we
previste
can
anche sanzioni da
see
600
where
a
we need to go.
1500
We
euro per
are
chi sfugge ai
general
controlli.
aviation, but we are also cargo to some
C'è
degree.
anche la decisione di rendere valido il certificato verde fin da subito dopo la prima dose di vaccino. Il decreto stabilisce anche che i tamponi molecolari abbiano una validità aumentata a 72 ore in caso di negatività, mentre quelli effettuati in farmacia avranno prezzi calmierati. La guida a tentare di riportare in Italia i bambini. Buonasera.
Okay, and those are the headlines on this day where we made it into Italy for the first time in this NeoFly career. It's not the first time for me being here, but yeah. So, looking at the approach, we are almost there at the point where we want to start our descent. That's a weird way. That's weird. Look at that. I don't think that's right. These points are not properly aligned. So, looking at the weather, we have every chance to do a visual approach here. But that's pretty much it. So we're gonna VS our way down. VS mode engaged. There we go. And we're gonna go 1,000 feet per minute, which is not very fast. I'm gonna take out a little power. So that's throttle props mixture. Set mixture is slowly creeping up into the rich register. So if we're lucky, we are able to see the Imola racetrack, I think. Imola, yep, there it is. It's a bit difficult to see, but it's definitely there. Yep. So to the left of the river against the hills, that's where the start-finish line is. Dosa at the end there. You can see acqua minerali. Yeah, that's nice. Nice. Okay, focus. Pretty much maxed out on speed. We're halfway down to 3,000. And we could in principle arm the approach now. Actually, do we need to activate it over here? Procedures. Approach. ILS 1, 2. Minimums are set. Yeah, I guess you could activate it. What are you doing? So arm the approach as well here. We can intercept the glide slope, and we're also gonna reduce the speed a little bit. Faenza. Quite a nasty tailwind up here. Jeez, let's check the meter one more time. Okay, it's variable at 2 knots. Okay, so I'm hoping the ground wind ones are going to be a bit more docile than this, because that's pretty stiff a tailwind. Wouldn't want to land in, actually couldn't land in a 20 knots tailwind. Wouldn't be allowed to. Tailwind slash crosswind. And disengage the autopilot. Mixture is richish. Actually not that happy. Good. Glide slope is in. Wind is still at 18, 16 on the tail. That wouldn't be great. Quite a crab at the moment. This is probably one of these cases again where Microsoft Flight Simulator weather is not correct. This is the outer marker. Okay, gear is down, we are too high, but that is okay. Gear selected and indicating 3 green, no red. Here comes a notch of flaps as well. Trimming, trimming, trimming. We're gonna get blown away here. 13 knots from the rear and from the right, so stiff crosswind. Keep the speed up in case we really need to land with that much of a tailwind. We need an extra 15 knots or so, or we go around. It's not really reducing. Knots now. Technically more than a 10 knot tailwind component is not a good idea. Wind shear, cool. So now we're at 7. Okay, here comes the last notch of flaps. Trees on final, gear is down, flaps are down. Landing lights are off, but no, they're landing lights are on. Okay. This. Okay, 3 on the nose. Good. Reducing the speed. That's crazy. A little bit.
Transporter from dispatch. Go to the parking to unload goods.
Rudder pedal sensitivity. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Manual braking here. Flaps are coming up. Taxi light is on, landing lights come off. Strobes remain on. Oh, and we're too fast. Okay, well, we're down. this guy anymore. Alright, I think I know where we're going. People are waiting for us. Not much happening here today. Okay. Gonna go and unload here. There you go. No. Brake pedal sensitivity also not not good. There you go. Propeller in the mouth.
Transporter, unloading goods, stand by.
Okay. Those guys. Pitot heat comes out. Propeller anti-ice. The engine anti-ice and hot air stuff. Magneto's off. Alternators not required. Avionics. 42 minutes, not too bad. We're switching off. Okay. Ended up being here, which is not a stand, but it's fine. Come on, move it along, please.
Transporter from dispatch, all goods unloaded, you can sell them to the market.
Ooh. Did we not land nice enough? Let's hope the goods are still okay. So in the hangar, a little bit of wear and tear. Go to the market. Take this and sell. Take this and sell. And we made some money there. That's nice. So we go back here and we kill a loan. And we kill another loan. 300,000 left. We kill another loan. And then we'll see. Then we'll see. In terms of actual speed at the landing. See, that wasn't actually that bad. Minus 0.9 feet per minute. Come on. That was good. No problemo. Here's our path so far. Lots of flying in Switzerland, a little bit in Germany, to Austria and back. And now the longest, well, that was basically the longest flight we did so far, distance-wise. Okay, so in terms of career, we are missing a few points here to make first officer. Once we have that, we can do VIP missions. At the moment we cannot, so we continue moving around goods for no good reason, which are largely the same goods everywhere. And we also still have things in Innsbruck which we cannot sell for some reason, which is worth maybe like 500,000. Yep, so can't tell you what's happening next. We might go further down south, Italy, or we might move around a little bit. Depends a little bit on the ATC coverage as well, because flights like these are relaxing, but they're not as interesting as with ATC coverage. So that's it. See you later. Bye-bye. Buongiorno signora.